Well, hello again. Welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. We are at it again as usual. Do me one small favor, folks, if you will, hit that little thumb. That is the like button. That tells YouTube that you are here and you are most assuredly enjoying this content. And guess what? They may share it out with some more folks, okay? Also, if you will, if you have other forms of social media, share this video out. That would also help the channel to grow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't worry, folks. I know, hey, people have things to do. You cannot make every live stream. That is fine. I understand life happens. It does not ask, it just happens. So I wanted to share this story with you. Me and Jeremiah had been talking about, and I told him I was going to do it. And this story smashes all of the narratives because remember, every single Black person in America is on welfare, food stamps, Section 8. No one's doing well. We're all poor and destitute. Well, the race hustlers don't say anything about these types of stories because, again, they would have you to believe another narrative. Look at the title. I will do the roll call momentarily. Let me know if you are familiar with this. Yeah, MAGA. This house is worth millions of dollars. Okay. And that Union County is near Charlotte. Any of you who know anything about Charlotte, North Carolina, there are a lot of wealthy people there. And then people who live on the outskirts in Union County and Cabarrus County. So I actually taught there in Charlotte, Mecklenburg County for 1 year. So a lot of wealth there. Remember, the Carolina Panthers are there. So the school I taught at one time, Providence High School, there were kids there and their fathers played on the Carolina Panthers. So there's a lot of money in that area. Okay. And excuse me. I know people whose parents, father's not a football player. They just own their own businesses and they're doing well. So again, this smashes all of the narratives. Let's go ahead and do the roll call. Vicky, how are you? Stacy, hello. My girls, how you doing? Tijuana, border jumper, how you doing, love? Maga, yeah, go ahead and drop your link, dear. Maga has a link she wants to share with you for a GoFundMe. Okay, so go ahead, Maga, please drop your link. All right. Tina, how are you doing? All right. Lord Jammer, I read your earlier chats. I understand you cannot make them all. That is fine. My girls, how you doing? Correctional officer for lockdown. It was his twin brother who threw the party. All right. Correctional. Nice house. This house is beautiful. Hi, everyone. Monique, how you doing, love? I'm still got your t-shirt, Monique. I have to get to the post office before it closes. When I leave the school, many times they're already closed. Okay. Tijuana border jumper again. Thank you, Mayor. Hello. Where are we here? That landscaper will never work again. He just ruined his whole business. And see, that's what we're saying. People's actions. Okay. Good evening, Jeremiah. Hello. How are you? There you go. Maga just dropped a link, so make sure you check it out, folks. Okay. No worry. Yeah, Monique, I told you, don't worry. It is coming. So let me share this. And it says a North Carolina landscaper was arrested for throwing a large unauthorized house party while the homeowners were away on vacation, and they charged each party goer an entrance fee. You can't make this stuff up. Correctional. Rolynn, the landscapers is distraught because identical twin. Look, when you have a contract of this magnitude, security is very important. So no one needs to have access to the keys and correctional lockdown. That I have not heard that. So this is the only story I'm aware of. Okay, so I'm just sharing what I have. Um, okay, there you go. Okay, there you go, Manga. All right. So a landscaper from North Carolina, his name's Michael Brown, um, was arrested for hosting an unauthorized house party at a client's home while they were out of town. The Union County Sheriff's Office reported that Brown had previously worked at the property for lawn maintenance, but took advantage of the homeowner's absence to invite. Now, this guy, I'm going to tell you his Dorian. Yes, this guy, for his age, why he said the party was for his son. So I don't know. Yeah, Jeremiah, this is one of the stories I was, I watch when I can, and the two of us have been talking about it, so I'm like, hey, I may as well cover it. Yes, it's basically squatting. And so this guy's in his 30s. Why? And he had all these teenagers. You could imagine what happened. So anyway, it says he took advantage of the homeowner's absence to invite hundreds of people and charge them an entry fee. Deputies were alerted. Now, if you're in a high class, how you doing, Big Cat? Yeah, moving on up. Yeah, we're moving on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. We're moving on up to the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Boom. So, yeah. So he obviously, if you're in a community like that, uh, any noise, anything out of the ordinary, people are calling the police. They are, folks. So anyway, the deputies were alerted due to noise complaints, traffic issues caused by the large gathering. When confronted by officers, Brown initially claimed the house belonged to him, then said it was his grandparents, before finally admitting he was just a landscaper. Law enforcement had to disperse the crowd, and many attendees left recklessly, prompting several traffic stops. Once the crowd was cleared, authorities found property damage at the home. Brown was charged with multiple offenses, including trespassing, property damage, and deception for profiting from the party. He was booked into the Union County Detention Center, but released the next day on a $10,000 bond. Despite the incident, Brown insisted in a television interview, which I will share with you, that the event was a graduation party for his son and friends, and denied serving alcohol to minors. So that's another issue he's having to deal with. So he also expressed confidence that the homeowners would continue using his services, and even mentioned plans to throw another party in the future. OMG. No, Tijuana border jumper. No. So the landscaper was black and the homeowners were black. And this mansion is like, I don't know, 4.5 million. How you doing, Shaggy? Hit the like button, folks. So I'm going to show you a beautiful home. You can see part of the home here. Is it 4 point? So again, this does not fit the narrative. I thought all black people lived in the projects and was on food stamps and was on welfare, all of that stuff, Section 8, all of that. Right, Monique? So I have videos for you too, but I wanted to share this with you. All right. So I was just looking at this, and then the homeowner's son, Tijuana, Tijuana said should have used a Mexican landscaper. Tijuana, that's next, right? So I guess them being, black millionaires, they wanted to try and help a black man who was trying to get his business started. And look at this, folks. Don't forget, oppressed and victimized. My girls. See, and this is what I have a problem with the left. They never show this part, this segment of Black American society. Everything you see is hood rat activity, black activities. Why don't they show this on social media? All the clips that we see, people are acting ghetto, people are shoplifting, people are fighting. They never, ever, ever show this side. So again, I love this. I live close to the rich neighborhoods. Okay, good. Pookie and Ray Ray must be jealous. Yeah, Pookie and Ray Ray don't live there. So I guess they were trying to help him out. And just look at this, folks. So you see how people, they screw their own selves over. If he was trying to get his business going, and if he had done a good job with these people, Nemo, we do know who the real racists are. Boom. If he'd done a good job, if they're wealthy, they're not going down to the hood where Pookie and Ray Ray are. They would, of course, they would have recommended this guy to their wealthy friends and family members. So his whole business could have just taken off. Yes, Nemo, we do. But he decided to become involved in hood rat activities. And this is the result. So, yeah, let me show you. Let me pull this video up for you. And I'm just like, what is he thinking? I mean, if you wanted to have a party for your teenage son, there are plenty of venues where you can go. So that's no excuse. Dorian, I saw a picture. He was, the landscaper was smoking something, and it wasn't a cigarette. And they're millionaires. They don't want that type of activity going on in their home. So let me close this out. Oh my God. I was like, and I actually know someone that lives actually near there, because I said there are a lot of wealthy people in that area. So I know the race hustlers would have you to believe that all Black people are poor and they need handouts from the Democrats, but no. That's not true. I bet if he asked, the owners would have helped him rent a saloon, something, Tijuana, right? But you don't do this. Yeah, they had loud music. Oh, he lost them and a client and anyone else they know. Jeremiah, all he had to do was do a good job. Jeremiah, you understand what I'm saying? Do a good job for them. And then, again, their friends are probably wealthy, that they're in the same circles. I'm going to show you guys a picture of that house. That house is, I think, 4.5 million. And so, yeah, let me share this with you. So I'm like, what was this guy? That there are plenty of venues you can go to host a party. So that was just an excuse. And, he was lying. Oh, yeah, this is my house. Okay. All right. So let me share this with you.
New tonight, a son says his parents were taken advantage of by the man accused.
All right. Let me get rid of the commercial. So tell me what your thoughts are about this in the comment section. People have a lot of nerve. Tina. Yes. What the heck is wrong with people? Here we go.
Massive party at their Weddington mansion.
Channel 9's Jonathan Lowe spoke with the man who says he threw that party last night only on 9. Now tonight, he's getting the owner's side of the story.
Family of the owners of that mansion reached out to me after seeing our story last night, saying they wanted to set the record straight. They say they would never allow someone to use their property, especially in the way that it was used last Saturday night.
What I saw was a very egregious act in my mind.
So Jonte Birch is the homeowner's son. How you doing, Dr. Marilyn? So he's giving his take on it. The parents, obviously they're older and they probably don't want to speak on camera, but their son is here and he is speaking for the family.
You have youth. They're smoking dope on my parents' back porch. You're in the pool. You have violated.
Tonight, we're hearing from the son.
Okay, everyone see this $4.5 million mansion? Everyone see that? Tijuana, Tina, Dorian, my girls, Jeremiah, Lord Jammer. Who else is here? All the people that are here. I thought all Black people lived in the projects and needed help from the Democrats to survive. So why don't they share these stories of the successful? Yeah, Dr. Marilyn, you understand what I'm saying, right? Everything you see in the media, and we know who's over the media. It's all Black people are poor. All Black people live in crime-ridden communities. That does not look like, yes, MAGA. This, like I said, I think it said this mansion's worth $4.5 million. So if this guy had played his cards right, look what he could have continued to keep their grounds up, and they would have recommended him to their rich, wealthy friends. How do you think you could do something like that to other people's property? Tijuana, entitlement. We know who he voted for. We know he voted for the Curry Queen. So yeah, I wanted you to see this house. And this guy had all of the hood rats to come over and do God knows what. Yeah, they brought in the YNs, Dorian. Jeremiah, media, stereotypical Black person, 100% poor. Right. Dr. Marilyn, I want your take on this. MAGA, what is your take? Everything we see in the media, poor Black people struggling on welfare, food stamps. How you doing, Robert? Oh, he was arrested, Robert. You weren't here from the beginning. He was arrested. He was. And so again, why we know who's over the media. Why don't they talk about these stories? Right? Why is it all Black people are oppressed? White supremacy and racism are holding us back. Well, how did they make it? Hard work and ethics. Nemo, but Black people need more services. They don't know where the DMV is at. Nemo, thank you. You've been on this channel long enough. That's why I wanted to do this story. They're living better than the best grifters. My girls, how is it possible? All Black people in America are poor. You guys know some of the links that I share with you. They don't show the people who are doing well. We know the left runs the media. Everything they show is the worst part, that demographic inside of the demographic that we're always talking about. Mayor said, but Black people can't get an ID to vote. Of course not, Mayor. They're too poor. They can't afford an ID to vote. So this is why I wanted to share this story with you. This smashes all of the race hustlers' lies. And again, I need someone to answer my question. Why don't they share the stories of the Black people who are doing well? Tijuana border jumper. The police already know who owns property like that. I work security in an HOA where people have boats and the Pacific Ocean in their backyard. Tijuana, you know they know. Exactly. So when they pulled up and asked whose house, and he lied and said it was his, they knew just from the way he was talking that, no, sir, this is not your home. And then he finally told them the truth. Dorian, but Black people can't get a job because of the white man. Yeah, Black people can't make it. White supremacy, systemic racism. It's all a bunch of lies. That's all it is. Hit that like button for me, please, folks. Lord Jammer, it doesn't fit the narrative. Exactly. It doesn't fit their agenda. Why don't we see this in the media? The only thing we see in the media are like the cop cams that I'm showing you, where Black people are being arrested for various crimes that they've committed. Why don't they show this aspect that I'm sharing with you now? Nemo, Amy Horowitz exposed these people in the way they think. Yes, Dr. Marilyn. Okay, let's see what Dr. Marilyn has to say. It's exhausting to see how blacks are displayed. I'm in Dallas. I know many black people who live like this. The media loves to show blacks in a negative light. I don't know one black person on government assistance. Dr. Marilyn Sturtevant, I will pin that comment. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Dr. Marilyn, who is over the media, the left or the right? I'm talking about the major media outlets. Who's over it, left or right? Someone tell me. They would call the homeowners racist for being that successful. Tijuana. Yes. Yes. Tina, the race hustlers are rich. Yes, because they've sold their people out. They've sold their souls. Why? Okay, Tina, why don't they, Darla, how you doing, love? Why don't they talk about the Black Americans that are living like this? And that's why I pinned Dr. Marilyn's comment. Dr. Marilyn said she knows, she lives in Dallas. A lot of black people in Dallas are living like this, and they're not athletes or rappers. They own their own businesses and they are successful. What happened to white supremacy and systemic racism? How were they able to make it if white supremacy and systemic racism is so entrenched into American society? Someone has to tell me that. Right, Dorian? Mayor calling them Uncle Toms. Yeah, I that's why I wanted to hear what you all had to say, because the videos I normally share with you, this is not what you see. This is not what you see all over social media. Okay, Margaret said, I hope Cousin T has a house like that. I love his pancakes. Okay, so let me continue. So I wanted you to see the picture so you can visualize. And why don't we see this in the news? Okay, here we go.
One of the owners of this Weddington mansion, Union County Sheriff's officials say, was illegally taken over last weekend for an unauthorized party.
I was very angry at the fact that that happened. I knew when I saw that there was no way my parents knew any of this.
Investigators say 37-year-old Michael Brown broke into the home and hosted a large party that he later posted to social media.
Now, how dumb can you be? You commit a crime. This is how so many people get caught. They commit crimes and then they post it on social media. Oh my God. This guy can't have more than 2 brain cells. Dr. Marilyn, the left is over the media. That's why Trump is trying to bust it up now, because they have a certain narrative that they are trying to send out. Tijuana, they would rather show people like Jasmine Crock full of than Ben Carson, Condoleezza Rice, or even Winsome Sears. Tijuana gets it right. They don't show successful black people because that does not fit their narrative. Michael Brown is an idiot. Dr. Marilyn, yes. OMG. And why would you're committing so many crimes here, and then you're posting it on your social media? Oh my God. Here we go.
Yeah. It was left, a hot mess.
You could have, even if the son didn't tell you that the home was left a hot mess, you have 300 or 400 teenagers. You kind of know, and they're from the hood. They're not used to anything nice, and so they're not going to treat things nicely. Jeremiah said, ignoramus, you big dummy. Nemo, that's my favorite saying. You big dummy. Oh my God. So here we go.
Essentially,
300 to 400 attended. Some of them were teenagers.
Those people trust me. They treat me like their son.
And the nerve of this guy, I want you to listen to what he's saying. Honestly, I want to live there. Me too, Monique, but that's out of my price range. Tina, I feel bad for this family's home. The mess they're going to have to clean up, the things that are going to have to be fixed. Yes. And Tina, it's not the point that, yes, we know they have the money to do it, but they were trying to help out a black man who had a landscaping business. And as Tijuana Border Jumper just said, next week, Jose and the crew will be in there. So even if there is another black man trying to start up his own landscaping business, once you've been burned, folks, you try something else. Let's just keep it real, real transparent. Dorian Dorian said, never trust someone from the projects, right? Okay, so I guess them being wealthy Black Americans, they were trying to give back, and they were trying to help this guy because he was, because it was, Black owned business. So they were like, okay, we'll try to help him out. They didn't want to be snobs. Once you see the braids on a beta male, it's all downhill from there. Yes. OMG. This is hilarious. Okay, here we go.
I'm there every day.
Brown is accused of telling deputies who responded to disturbance complaints that he was the homeowner, then the grandson of the homeowner, before ultimately admitting he was the lawn guy.
Number one, bro, you cut grass. You're the hired help. So you were there for that reason and that reason only. He's a liar. Number one, he told multiple stories to the officers.
John Tay Burke.
Darla has an excellent point. If you have never owned anything, you don't respect the property of others. Darla, at that point, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. Only people who have actually owned a home get it. I'd rather have Tijuana. To be honest, as a landscaper myself, the grass looks like Tijuana. Yeah. So he wasn't even the best, right? That's a big house. Nemo is like 4.5 million. I thought he was a twin. So much for that bold face. Right, my girls. My girls, that's why I just kept going, girl. Rollyn's reviews, that brother who I was quoting, he'll say it. So, okay, Jeremiah. Yeah, there's another guy coming up. So they were, and see, one thing about Black Americans who have made it and who are successful, Tubesteak, how you doing? They're always on receiving a guilt trip from Black Americans who were struggling or who live in crime-ridden, high poverty communities. That, okay, you made it and you turned your back on Black Americans. We're trying to make it too. So, yes, Nemo. So look at what they tried to do to help him. And look at how he repaid them. So again, next week, Jose and the crew will be in there, do it and do it right. But they were trying to help him. Because again, Black Americans who are successful, right? They're talked down to. You've made it, and you never try to turn around and help your brothers and sisters that are in these crime-ridden, high poverty communities. So when they do turn around and try to help them, how are they repaid? Ask Young Dolph about that rapper, which I don't know anything about his music, but I know he was in his community and he was trying to help. He came from a high crime, high poverty community, and he went to get something from a sweet shop, and they unalived him. Yes, my girls. My sister does all of her own landscaping. Her husband put in the lighting, and they have a huge house and yard. Half of her neighbors are wealthy Black families. Darla, that's what we're saying. Darla, how often do you see that on these clips? What do you see when you see Black people represented in these social media clips? Do you see wealthy Black people? Yes or no? White Man's Burden with John Travolta. That was a while ago, so I think I saw parts of it, Monique. I need to go back and watch the full movie. Excellent point, Rolynn. Taking advantage of each other. Right, Dr. Marilyn. And they try to guilt trip Black Americans. We know the race hustlers, they do that. Try to guilt trip because I'm not living on government assistance, because I'm not living in public housing. You're not going to guilt trip me. I worked hard. And there is no way that I would, try to go and live. I'm not used to living like that, and I'm too old to start now. Dr. Marilyn, yes. Tijuana, you get a good Mexican crew. They get in and out fast, just in case ICE shows up. Tijuana, yes. I just had a Mexican crew. They put I live on a highway, major highway, so I had them to put up a privacy fence. They did an excellent job. So, however, if you watch the news, you would think that doesn't happen in Backwards, Alabama. Darla Hayes, you said many of your Black You live in a community and many black families are there with huge houses. Darla, me too. There are a lot of, I know black people here in North Carolina, their houses are over $1 million. So why don't we see these types of successful black Americans in the social media clips? Everything we see that goes viral, it's that demographic inside the demographic, part of the bonnet brigade, always out fighting or doing something else, shoplifting, or doing any other nefarious activity that we've covered on this channel. All right, here we go.
Says Brown first got the job working for his parents after telling them he was trying to start a landscaping business.
So you see that? That's how he got the job. He was trying to start. So they were like his first clients. And this dodo screwed it up. Oh. Tijuana, honestly, it was a crime of opportunity. It could have been any race, but Tijuana, we know they were black and they were trying to help out another black man. We know that's the end of that. And since this happened and it was publicized, it was all over the news, you know, Jose and the crew are probably going to be knocking on the door. Hey, you know, and they'll do it right. Dorian, they hate these black people who went on dating. Okay. Where are we? Darla, I hired a Mexican company, a company owned by legal immigrants with legal workers. They did a great job. Oh yeah, Darla, I've hired plenty whenever I have to call in contractors to get some work done around the house. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Here we go.
Unfortunately, you know, because of their kindness, right, people tend to take that for weakness. And that's exactly what happened here.
Despite that, Brown was confident he had.
Okay, can everyone see him? He's there. He has his feet there in their pool. And you see what he's smoking. Can everyone see what he's smoking? Ratchet behavior. Boom. Can everyone see that? That's not a cigarette. So let your mind do the wondering. I'm sure he never had any intentions on doing the family's yard. The party was always his end game. Nemo, who knows? Tijuana. Tijuana, that's not a Black and Mild. You know what that is. I can't say it here on YouTube. You know what he's smoking. Yes, Jeremiah. Woo! Yeah, my girls, the son is wealthy too. He's well off. Tina, this is how he paid them back. The entitlement. Yes, MAGA. Oh, God.
And lost a client.
Are you worried at all about the relationship?
I'm not.
After this?
No, because I know they're loving people.
And he's delusional. He is definitely delusional. In fact, not only has he lost a client, he's probably lost all of the other clients that potentially he's gotten in that neighborhood.
In addition to the accusations of underage drinking, sheriff's officials say there was also property that was stolen and property damaged at that mansion. Birch said he believes Brown not only needs to be held accountable criminally, but also civilly. In Union County, Jonathan Lowe, Channel 9, Eyewitness News. This
guy was crazy enough to say, well, they're loving people. Tijuana, Rolynn, it's a Black and Mild re-roll. Tijuana, I'm going to get you. Oh, my God. Yeah. So this idiot was crazy enough to think, oh, well, you know, they're loving people. They'll still let me cut their grass. What the heck is wrong with this guy? Dr. Marilyn, honestly, I think the wealthy blacks don't want the attention. I have a personal friend. There are a couple who live in a $2.7 million home and they aren't on social media. They just worked hard and they keep a low profile. Dr. Marilyn, exactly. But as I said, the left, who's in charge of the media, they would have you to think all black people are poor and destitute and dependent on the government. Tijuana border jumper. It's really heartbreaking for him to be so selfish to keep that kind of stereotype going. And they were just trying to help him because he was starting again Black Americans who are successful are ridiculed, and they're talked down to. You've made it. You don't try to help your brothers and your sisters in the community who are struggling, who are poor, and you can't. Darla, I've heard of this happening at an Airbnb. One person rents it and then they have a huge party and destroy everything, and it's both races. Darla, I've seen that. Oh my goodness. Woo! Yes, I have seen it. I don't know how much more. Let me see what Monique is saying. You could insult your own people. Yeah. All I can say, folks, let me show you. I'm not done. And I'm going to share the story also about wait a minute. Here it is. Let me show you. All right. I wanted to show you some comments. I told you I'm an avid comment reader. And I wanted to show you some comments from a video that was also talking about this subject matter. It's why I like Brian McDaniels. Okay, Darla. Okay, I read that. Look at this. Look at this comment. As a white guy looking at that house, I'm feeling kind of oppressed right now. LOL. Woo! And then again, it's entitlement. And look at that. This is the sad part. What I just said. If another black man is trying to start his business, they're not giving him a chance because of this dodo. And in his mind, he was, oh, I didn't break the law. I just broke some rules. Oh, really? And then you read comments like this. When you have Black Americans, and I've done a video or two on that, Black Americans who have made it and they're trying to give back. Tijuana border jumper, Rolynn. Got my bleeding heart liberal sister watching Modern Renaissance Man. It was a breakthrough. Okay. Perfect. Hey, it's a start. I think the conservative twins did an episode where a black family tried to open a fat burger in a black neighborhood. Again, trying to give back. Said they were trying to help supply jobs, teach young people work ethic for their community. Immediately, the black people in the community were destroying it, starting fights with employees, jumping behind the counter, vandalized the property, etc. Sad. Okay? And this is what Tijuana said. Tijuana said he didn't do such a good job anyway. The fact the grass is patchy in the pictures doesn't help his case. What a good dad. He passed his criminal tendencies on to his son and all his friends. Yeah. Look at this right here. And this is what I said. We know who'll be there next week, right? Jose will be there next week with his crew. What a fool. And then, look at this. And this is what we've said. There are more black millionaires in America than all other countries combined. Has anyone heard any of the black race hustlers talking about that? I don't think so. Dr. Maryland, trespassing charge and ruined his business because now everyone knows. Right, Dr. Maryland, his business is done. No one is going to be bothered with this guy. How you doing, Prosperity? Yeah, trespassing, breaking and entering, theft, destruction of property, you name it, he did it. Then he lied. No, I didn't charge. And then, yeah, I did. Okay. They gave him a job. Oh, this one said he was selling liquor $5 a shot. So he's doing something. That's something a teenager would do. This guy is 31 something. He's 30 something. 30. He's older than 31. Yeah. All right. So I wanted to share that with you. What a dope. What a dope. So tell me what your thoughts are about this story. I have another story I'm going to do. In the small town I grew up in, there were only 2 black families, and they were very respectful. Yeah, respectable. Yeah, Tijuana border jumper. I just get so frustrated because the only thing that you see, the only thing, is all negative. So people who don't have any interactions with Black Americans, when the only thing that they see are the clips, let me do that, on social media, they don't know that that's not reality, and that's not all, that's some, that's not all Black Americans. And I'm trying to find, yeah, that house is 4.5 million. I read it in let me see, I'm looking for it now. I was going to pull it up and show it to you. And this is what he's doing. I can't. I knew everyone would find this funny. Yeah, oh yeah. The house is 4.3 million. I'm sorry. I was off a couple of million. Let me show you so you know, because people like to come in here and, oh, you're a liar and you don't know what you're saying. Okay. 4.3 million. I was off. What did I say? There he is smoking again. Everyone see that? All right, now I'm going to close that down. All right, tell me what your thoughts are about that first story. Our same crew of friends still hang out together, go to each other's houses, and the wealthiest one of us is a Black guy. Wow, Darla, okay. Darla, I thought all Black Americans were poor and destitute. You're shattering that myth, that stereotype, Darla. Are you reeling in the years, storing away the time? Are you gathering up the tears? Have you had enough of mine? Oh my goodness. Woo! Maga, if my cousin Raymond would have had the chance, he would have done something like that. He never thought past right that minute. Wow. Tijuana border jumper. People don't realize with a house like that, taxes and upkeep are the real judge of the success of the owners. Yes, upkeep can kill your finances fast. You got that right, Tijuana, especially with taxes. Woo! Okay, Darla. Okay. Yeah, I like I said, I know Black Americans here in North Carolina, their homes are over $1 million. So this narrative that everyone's poor and destitute, no. That's the narrative that they share, and it's just not true. And I also wanted to share with you, there's been a lot of talk about the Trey Reed, the situation down in, wait a minute. All right. The situation down in Mississippi. And we know the race hustlers, they are out in full force. And they wanted this so much to be at the hands of a white supremacist. Well, today, the autopsy said otherwise. The autopsy said otherwise. So let me share this with you. And the race hustlers are saying no. They don't, of course, anytime you share the truth with them, they don't want to hear it. So let me share this with you. Share this stream out, please, if you will. Thank you so much. All right. So how many of you, I think most of you are familiar with this, Jeremiah? There's places where any race is poor, but it's not necessarily just a Black person. Yeah, Jeremiah, it's just the narrative that's always in the media. Tina, my best friend's Black. She's got more money than I do. Tina, Tina, where are your reparations? Oh my God. Yes, Dr. Marilyn spilled the beans. I was just going to say that Dr. Marilyn, Colin Kaepernick, who also is always, he has to stay relevant. He's paying for an autopsy because the race hustlers are saying, oh no, we're not listening to that. Meanwhile, there was a white man who was also found hung, and they're not saying a word about it. So they're trying their best to get, stoke these flames of racial hatred. No, Dr. Marilyn, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine, love. Hey, I don't care if I share it or you share it, as long as it is shared. I'm happy. Okay, dear, you're fine. So I think most of you are familiar with this. The death of a 21-year-old Black student discovered hanging from a tree at Delta State University in Mississippi has been ruled I'm going to say unaliving because I don't want YouTube to strike the video. Police said Thursday the body of the student, identified as Demartravian Trey Reed, was discovered by a faculty member around 7 a.m. on Monday, hanging from a tree near the pickleball courts on the Cleveland, Mississippi campus, according to the campus police department. The Mississippi State medical examiner's autopsy findings are consistent with the initial investigation, determining the cause of death to be hanging and the manner of death as, well, you see it right here. I don't want to say it. That's a no word for YouTube. The Cleveland Police Department said, and there's a picture of him there. Okay. So the race hustlers, they're angry. They're like, no. He died at the hands of some white supremacists. My girls, next week he'll be back in the hood cutting grass for a Sunday dinner plate, a fifth of liquor, and some funny cigarettes. My girl, he could have written, this is what angers me. All he had to do was do right with those clients. His business would have taken off, but he couldn't do right. He couldn't. Oh, God. Nemo, pushing the broken legs and arms narrative. Yes, they're pushing all these narratives. People are saying he didn't commit an unaliving. Right. Look, they have to continue to stoke the flames of racial hatred. Okay, so I have that for you. I'm going to close that out. I am going to go on TikTok. There's several videos on there, short clips that I wanted to share with you, and then we're done. Here we go.
Of Delta State University was a suicide.
All right.
That report lining up with the coroner's initial findings. WRG's Mike Sirianni is in Reed's hometown of Grenada as it rallies in support of his family.
An hour east of Delta State University, here in Trey Reed's hometown of Grenada, news that the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office ruled suicide as the cause of death for the 21-year-old freshman drew this reaction from Mayor Charles Latham.
It's more than just community. The nation is mourning this.
Mayor Charles Latham responding after the state medical examiner echoes the initial report by the Bolivar County coroner that no signs of foul play were found when Trey Reed's body was discovered hanging from a tree Monday on the campus of Delta State University.
It does look as if those two reports are consistent, and we have to take those facts into consideration.
Thursday, Mayor Charles Latham stopping by Lottie Dottie's ice cream truck, ordering a sweet treat.
Delicious!
And in the process, donating to a fundraising effort for the family of Trey Reed. Madison Millette, the owner of Lottie Dottie's, announcing all proceeds Thursday from sales will go to Reed's family.
So I just came up with the idea to do his fundraiser and give the proceeds to his family to help with this tough time they're going through right now.
Where is she? And they told me where you were. I said, I'm on my way.
Word spread like wildfire about Millette's fundraiser. Many in this area.
So as you can see, folks, people are sort of, yeah, Monique, that is sad. I mean, you take a sad situation like this, and Ben Crumb, he's involved, and of course he is not accepting the autopsy findings. So, but the race hustlers, no, they're not letting it go. Here we go.
Area devastated by news that Delta State University freshman from Grenada was found hanging from a tree on campus Monday, dead.
I just felt like we should support the Reed family. It was a devastating loss for them, and just want to do what we can for our community.
The community is expected to come together Saturday at 6 p.m. for a candlelight.
So you see, again, black people and white people. So they keep pushing this narrative, oh, white people all hate you. People aren't listening to that crap. People are toning it out. Because Crump is a grifter. Exactly. But I thought white people hated black people. Why are they here buying ice cream to contribute to this fundraiser for the family? Yeah, I call him Crumb all the time. Ben Crumb. Woo!
Vigil at the Grenada High School on Fairgrounds Road. Mayor Charles Latham says emotions over Trey Reed's death extend far beyond the 21-year-old's hometown.
Got a lady from Massachusetts called all the way down here. She's going to provide balloons to be released there. She's going to provide water. We've had people to call us there providing those candles for us out there. So the whole community and people actually from across this country are coming together to support the Reed family.
For your news leader in Grenada, Mississippi, Mike Suriani, WREG News Channel 3.
Good to see people coming together to support the family like that. Mississippi Congressman Benny Thompson, by the way, had called for an FBI investigation into Reed's death. The FBI said it would be ready to step in if local authorities found evidence of wrongdoing.
Yeah, and so how you doing, Marshmallow? Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you look at him closer, he looks very sad. The eyes are the window to the soul. Yeah, and folks, we don't know what people are going through. And I tell my students often, just be kind to everyone. I said everyone has a battle they're fighting that no one knows anything about. So be kind to everyone. It's just, and again, Ben Crumb, he's gotten a hold of this family. Oh, no, we got to have an internal, he won't let it go. So he and the other race hustlers, they're still pushing the narrative. He died at the hands of a white supremacist. Thank you, Nemo. And again, there was a white man, a homeless white man. He was found hanging from a tree. They don't say anything about him. What about his life? On this channel, we call out hypocrisy. Why aren't they talking about the white man that was found in the tree? Oh, Tina, good. You stopped. Good, Tina. Good. Yeah, Tina, he did. My girls, he did look sad. So sorry about that, Tina. Let me send you some praying hands here. You said you guys shut it down before they got it started with that racist crap. If foul play is involved and Crumb shows up, the family will not seek justice. Somebody needs to look into Crumb and the deals he makes with law enforcement. Dr. Marilyn, Ben Crumb needs to go away. He is trying to get every nickel and dime that he can. He is a Democratic operative, and he's one of the race hustlers who keep pushing this narrative. Oh, yeah, Marshmallow, I'll call it out. They're not saying anything about the white man that was found hanging in the tree because they're trying to keep pushing this narrative so that black and white will be at each other's throats. Now, someone tell me I'm wrong. My girls, it's a low down, dirty shame how these race hustlers care for no one but themselves. Yes, my girls and their bank accounts. And this is what they do. Anytime something happens, now check this out. They're saying, no, we don't believe the autopsy. The mayor, the police chief, the coroner, medical examiner, everyone's black. So all these black people in these positions are lying and saying that it was an unaliving. Tijuana, But the media is not pushing that narrative. Why not? We know why. And then let me show you this guy. They wanted it so, it's been another hoax. They wanted it so bad to be a white person. See, we told you they're racist, white supremacy. And they're doing this because Trump's in office. They can't do that now. So no, we don't believe this autopsy. And yes, Colin Kaepernick is paying for the outside. He's paying for another autopsy, a private autopsy. He's footing the bill. Of course, he has to stay relevant, right? Okay. Tina said the Chippewa tribe, they stopped those race hustlers. Boom, good. Tina, that's what I try to do. I try to stop the race hustlers as well. And the only way I can do that is expose them here on my YouTube channel. That's what I try to do. All right, let me share something else with you here. If you are enjoying this content, type a 1 in the comment section. Okay, let me show you this guy. And, you know, regardless of the autopsy results, these people aren't going to listen. They're saying that a white person did it, and you're not changing their mind. Marshmallow, everyone matters. I don't care what color you are. Let's get past race. Marshmallow, that's what we need to do if we can get rid of these race hustlers. Oh my God, they're awful. Here we go. This guy.
Death of an individual, a 21-year-old college student named Trey Reed. Now, Trey Reed was going to Delta University in Mississippi, mind you, and his body was found hanging from a tree. Now, anyone who knows anything about the history of this country, forget Mississippi, understands that a hanging from a tree of a black man is not a coincidence. And one thing that I've noticed is that there's a pattern of them trying to say that these are suicides. I am old enough to remember Javion McGee. Maybe you guys may not remember, but Javion McGee, same situation. They said he was leaning with a rope around his neck on a tree. Same situation, a lynching.
In the meantime, the sheriff trying to tamp down rumors that are swirling on social media.
The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. It was not a knot in the rope. So therefore, it was not a...
And so they're spreading a lot of lies again on social media, trying to stoke the flames of racial hatred. Let me see. Where's MAGA? Remember how everyone was too angry at Gabby because the media put her on when she was missing? But it's the media that chooses what missing people to put on. Yes, MAGA. That's what I'm saying. And we know who's in charge of the media. That's why Trump is trying to bust it up now. Darla, some people are saying, I demand an investigation, as if their demanding makes a difference. Exactly. Yes, Tina. Yes. Where are we here? There is no telling what he was dealing with that no one knows about. Boom, my girls. Dr. Marilyn, all races are at risk of unaliving themselves. I'm a therapist at the VA, and SI doesn't discriminate. No, it doesn't. I see it every week. Yes, Dr. Marilyn. And you know the narrative, oh, black men don't unalive themselves. Yes, they do. Dr. Marilyn is a doctor, and she deals with this. She knows. MAGA. They choose what stories they're going to put on, and they write the stories. Boom. Technical things like this help knowing it's not. Yeah, but they wanted it so bad to be from a white person. And I mean, that's what they love. It keeps them relevant. It keeps their checks coming. It keeps them out here continuing again to push the narrative. Oh my God, all black people are victims of white supremacy and racism. And it's all a bald-faced lie. Narcissists never, ever care until it benefits them. Right. I don't know how we're ever, let me see, going to get rid of these race hustlers. Tina, we're going to have to pray, do some hard praying. Here we go.
A lynching here in Vance County.
I miss you like a hog miss.
Okay, now that was a part of the Django, so I had to silence that part. Here we go.
The sheriff has come out. The police of Delta University has come out. Black person. And I want you to just take note of this. Anytime it has to deal with a black death, they will 9 out of 10 get a black sheriff, get a black governor, have a black mayor. That's what they do. They do that all the time. And they do that to have plausible deniability. Well, Lucas, how can there be you heard the black sheriff. He said they didn't find anything. Well, you saw the black mayor. He said nothing happened. Well, you saw the black principal. That's the hustle that they do. And they've been doing this for quite some time, mind you.
Damn.
The sheriff.
So again, he's one of these blackety black, right? It doesn't matter that everyone involved, everyone who said that this kid unalived himself was black. The coroner, the police chief, all these people that are black, and they still won't believe him.
Comes out and says he's found no foul play and he didn't see any broken bones. Now, I don't know about you.
Yeah, because I'm going to let you read that. That's what they were saying. Darla, he makes my teeth itchy. But Crum will say different. Of course, Mayor. Yeah, and he is saying differently. He is. So the coroner, I saw no broken limbs, he said. Rourke declined to elaborate further, stating that the case was still under investigation. I don't think I should probably discuss this any further than that. My opinion is that it was self-done, and I have reasons for that. But again, you're a black person in this position, and they don't believe you either. So, okay.
I don't know how someone can see a fracture. Unless you happen to be Superman, I'm not sure how you can, off the rip, just see, yeah, that person's arm is fractured. There usually needs to be a little more evaluation, a little more investigation, an autopsy, say, if you will, on the body, at least a medical doctor of some kind. Now, of course, the evaluation currently right now, a full autopsy has been done, but right now they're saying, hey, there's no signs of there was a fight or a struggle, that this is more in lines with suicide. This goes contradictory to what the cousin has said. Now, the cousin said they spoke with another cousin saying that, hey, he had broken arms and a broken leg.
Now, so again, last time I checked, this guy, his cousin, he's not a medical doctor. So how are you going to, if you're not a doctor, you're just looking at someone and you can determine that their legs and their arms were broken? Right, MAGA, they spread so many stories that were untrue online. And that came from this guy right here who says he's his cousin. And then I watched another video today that said he wasn't, or they didn't even communicate. So who knows? Oh.
I just got off the phone with one of my cousins. She said she seen the reports and it said that he was beaten and bruised. Both his arms were broken and he had a broken leg.
Now, to be honest with you, how I break this down, all right, given the climate where we are, how I break this down is the same way of how what.
Thank you, my girl. My girl, you must have seen the same report that I guess that guy wanted his 5 minutes of fame. Someone said he wasn't a cousin and the family, Nemo, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. This guy came out, I'm his cousin. No, you're not. This is not his cousin. The close friend told it on TikTok that the family doesn't know him. Yes, my girl. And I watched, I have some TikToks to show you as well. All right, here we go.
We saw what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. That had no one stepped in, had the GBI not stepped in, they would have brushed that under the rug. And in cases like this, with something that's so grotesque as a lynching, something that is emblematic of this country's treatment to Black Americans, I wouldn't be surprised if they throw this under the rug, just as they did Javion McGee. Because you have to understand what they risk upon them coming out and say, hey, bunch of white kids lynched that black boy, that 20-year-old college student, someone who was looking to better his life. Same thing with Javion McGee. Upon that happening, I would argue all hell breaks loose. That's what I would argue. The point in time that they confirm a lynching by white youth of a black person on a college campus or anywhere is game over, fam. it's genuinely game over. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's no more playtime. It's no more division. It is game over. It is literally, all right, we are going to get justice one way or another. As Malcolm X says, the bullet or the ballot. So in all honesty, my belief is they have no option but to deem this a suicide. That's why you got the sheriff saying one thing. You have the coroner, agreeing with the sheriff. They all have their narrative in line. Same thing that happened with Javion McGee. Same thing that happens whenever we see a black person who has been hung. Well, it's a suicide. Well, there's no signs of any type of stress or, any type of distress. None of that. It's just, that's what happened. Because I guarantee that they fear the backlash that would occur in this country. That's my take, okay, mind you. And to coincide that and to frame it as retaliation for Charlie Kirk, because that's how it would be seen. I just want you to understand. That's how it would be seen, because they are blaming black people for what happened to Charlie Kirk. They are going out of their way and cherry picking black people who may be indifferent to what happened to Charlie Kirk and saying, hey, look, this is proof that they hate us. This is proof that they hate us. Once again, always a victim complex. So if that narrative gets out, right, that is all hands on deck, bro. I don't know what to tell you. All hands on deck, okay? I'm letting you know. They constantly think that they can push and deceit and kill and steal and destroy. And people are just going to say, okay, well, we're going to deal with it. I would argue that there are many, many people, black, white, Asian, that are sick and tired, bro. They fed up with it because they know that reticle, as soon as it comes to us, is going to go to them. And it's gotten to the point where many are like, hey, either we fight together or we die separately, because there is a lineage of evil that is taking over this country. And I think many of us are privy to it. Now, just to highlight the hypocrisy, the same people who are telling me and telling other black people, well, they already said that there was no foul play. Why are you guys trying to race bait? The sheriff, who is black, already said he didn't see any broken bones. Why are you guys trying to race bait, huh? Why are you guys trying to fearmonger? These are the same people that will say that, hey, Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. These are the same people that will say that. So in that case, the official narrative, right, is that, hey, he did this to himself. And they're quick to say, that's not true. There's no way that happened. That's bullcrap. That's a cover up. But when it comes to a black victim, hey, that's the official narrative. Okay. Why are you guys trying to race bait? They already said it. This is what I'll say. If you don't believe the official report that Epstein offed himself.
All right. That's enough of that guy. Darla, black people are not the only race that have been hung. Yeah. The Salem 1600, Wild West 1800. Oh, yeah. That's true, Darla. Jeremiah, many black community members call each other cuz or similar, even if they're not blood related. But I still think it's not really his cousin, just a common skin folk. Yeah, Jeremiah, he's trying to get his 5 minutes of fame because his case is all over the internet. We know how that goes. My girls, these YNs are the reason untreated mental illness in the black men go unnoticed, because these internet pimps. Yeah, Nemo, mental gymnastics without any facts. Yes, again, yeah. So the investigators and the autopsies are all wrong. Right, Tina? So all these black people in these positions that have determined that he unalived himself, the race hustlers are saying, no, we're not believing it. Yeah. So there you go. So then let me go on TikTok. Let me pull up TikTok. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so there's nothing you can do when people won't listen. All right, let me close this out. Let me see if you can see my screen. All right. Because I have to. I know a lot of you are like, oh no, I don't watch TikTok. But I have to. I find a lot of info on there. All right. And I had just a few that I wanted to share with you. Okay. Let me make sure everyone can see. Okay, it's not showing up yet. Hold on. Let me try it again. All right, there we go. Now we're on the same page. All right. So I'm just going to show you a few of these, and then we are done until tomorrow anyway.
You guys think.
Not that one. Okay, this one here.
Autopsy. It remains an active investigation. The FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office say they are further reviewing the case. Autopsy.
All right, that was one I looked at, and let me see.
Family in Mississippi is now begging for answers after their 21-year-old was found dead hanging from a tree at Delta State University. Campus police say the body of 21-year-old Trey Reed, a black student, was discovered by staff members on Monday morning. Authorities quickly ruling out foul play, and during a press conference today, the university president insisting that race relations are not an issue at the university.
I can say that my heartbreak is comprehensive, not just for Trey, although it is primarily for Trey, but for the fact that the rest of the world has an impression of Delta State that is so at odds with what I know to be this institution. This institution should not be associated with hate or hate crimes.
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, now representing Reed's family, demanding more transparency. The family saying we cannot accept vague conclusions when so many questions remain. Let's bring in our Ike Ajachi. So, Ike, what are we learning from police today? And are they still continuing to rule out foul play?
Yeah, Kira, several different agencies surrounding this investigation are saying just that. The Delta State University police chief, he's come out and said that there is no indication of foul play surrounding this incident. He also said that there is no ongoing threat to staff or faculty. Now, if you also look at what the Bolivar County Coroner's Office is saying, it's also falling in line with that. They're saying through a preliminary examination that there are no injuries to 21-year-old Trey Reed's body that are consistent to a physical attack. So that they said that there are no lacerations, no bruises, no broken bones, anything that would look like there was a physical attack to his body. Now, the coroner's office is saying that they are investigating this as a suicide, and they're also saying that the full autopsy is currently being done by the Mississippi State Crime Lab, and that'll be finished in about 24 to 48 hours, Kira.
So what is the family saying? Are they thinking it's a suicide?
Well, Kira, the family of Trey Reed right now, they are expressing deep frustration and they are demanding transparency surrounding this investigation. Right now, through their attorney, Vanessa Jones, they have announced.
Now, remember, Ben Crump is actually, they have an attorney, but Ben Crump is on the case as well. And you know, regardless, again, of everything that they've been given, the information that's been shared with them, he is not accepting that. He is trying his best to pin this on a white perpetrator. Where are we? Maga, yes, what a shame. They're not even willing to be honest about the son's, tragedy in order to help other people. Darla, Crumb was here recently and had to sink out of town when no foul play was involved. Yeah, and Darla, with this case, when he sees that he's not going to get up one dime, he's out. How you doing, Lanita? This smells. Also, other men have been found hung. Yeah, Lanita, we were saying that. Even a white man, a homeless white man was found hung. So I don't know what's going on in Mississippi, but they're trying to make this out to be, racial. That they want to make it where a white person did this because, they have to keep stoking those flames. Here we go.
That they're conducting their own independent autopsy and they're even conducting their own investigation around this. They are demanding answers, they're saying, that are shrouded in some kind of a cloud of secrecy. This is according to the attorney and the family. So what we're seeing right now is that they're claiming that there has been a lack of direct communication from law enforcement, from the university to the family on the day this incident was discovered. That is, of course, on September 15th, just 2 days ago. They're saying there has been no communication, and that's exactly what they're demanding. Take a listen.
Family does not know exactly what happened on September the 15th of 2025. We are seeking answers. The family of Trey Reed has not even received a phone call from the president of Delta State University.
And he told me that they found Trey Reed in his room. And he didn't say possible suicide, he said suicide.
Now, Kira, it is important to note that the university did respond, the university president that is, by saying that the university contacted an individual for Trey Reed who is listed as the next of kin. And they said that happened on that day, Kira.
Family and
All right, Tina, let me read some of these comments. They're not going to accept this because this is going to be a big, huge money grab. Yeah, and if Ben Crumb sees that he's not going to get a dime, he's going to be out of there. So we'll see how this goes. Lanita, well, lately racists did target several HBCUs, so people are questioning everything. Oh, Lanita, yeah, I did a video on that, Lanita, with the but they still haven't determined who was behind that. And some of these have been racial, they've been hoaxes. And they still have not determined who called in those threats to those HBCUs, as well as to predominantly white colleges and universities threatening the Black students that are attending there. No one has been held accountable for that yet. So I don't know. I'm still waiting because I want. If so, I will do a video on it, like so many other situations. I don't know. But with that HBCU thing and the threatening of the Black students at the white universities smells like a hoax to me, and they still don't know who did it. So I'm still waiting. The jury is out on that. And I wanted to show you which one did I want to show you? Oh, this guy.
Update on Trey Reed, the Black 21-year-old college student who was found hanging from a tree on his college campus at Delta State University. The police chief, Michael Peeler, said yesterday at a press conference that Trey Reed's body was being moved to the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office for a full autopsy. He said that the results are expected within 24 to 48 hours. So if that was yesterday, today makes 24. By tomorrow, there should be results from the full autopsy. He also confirmed that there is video footage of what happened to Trey Reed. Trey Reed's family has officially hired Ben Crump to be their legal representation for the case. And here is what Ben Crump had to say. Trey's family deserves answers they can trust. We cannot accept rushed conclusions when the stakes are this high. By demanding the family be allowed to view any video and commissioning an independent autopsy, we are taking every step to uncover the truth about what happened to Trey. Every student deserves to feel safe where they live and learn. This is why it is important to get to the bottom of this tragedy. Now, there's two reasons it's so important for us to get this video footage and that we not stop talking about it. Number one is that the police department tried to rule this a self-unaliving the day it happened. They also concluded that there was no foul play the same day it happened. But the police chief is saying that they said they didn't believe that there was any foul play. And what's obviously weird about that is that they had video footage. So you didn't really need to tell us what you believed. You could have just told us that it was an ongoing active investigation. And if it truly was a self-unaliving, they would not be hesitating or waiting this long to give us the rest of the evidence. They would have put it out there already to put everyone else's mind at rest. Number two is that Trey Reed's grandfather publicly told us that when he was contacted about the death of Trey Reed, they told him that he was found in his dorm, not hanging from a tree. We need to make sure that we keep talking about this and don't let up, because there's something strange happening here, and Trey Reed deserves justice. His family deserves justice. Quick.
Okay. Oh, this right here, this young lady, this was the best take. Make sure you listen to what she has to say. My girls, if it proves there is no foul play, we will see all the snakes sling back into the dirt. Yeah, when they see they can't get it a money grab, they'll be gone. Yeah, Ben Crumb, we know how he operates. Lanita, I'm still watching and suspect the motive of these deletions. It's very unusual that FBA hang themselves like that. Everyone be careful. Lanita, I've been saying that forever because people on both sides are losing it. So if you're out in a crowd, now let me show you Ben Crumb, and then I'm going to end with this young lady. And she says the quiet part out loud. She's very intelligent, and she's wearing a Dallas Cowboy jersey. Woohoo! All right, listen to this young lady who's, who she voted for. Just listen to what she has to say. Then I'm going to go over here to the intelligent young lady, and I know who she voted for.
Yep, they might as well go ahead and release that video footage to Trey Reed family so they can see what really happened to him, because what they were saying in that press conference Monday, no, it didn't add up. So I don't know if y'all seen the latest update from the press conference today about the Trey Reed case. So their attorney, Ben Crump, is demanding that all of the footage related to this incident be showed to the family. Now, at the press conference today, authorities have said that there is video footage, but they stated that video is in the hands of their investigation team. And I know a lot of y'all probably was looking for me to cover this story, but I couldn't cover it because I didn't have all facts. And y'all know I like to give y'all only facts. So as of right now, that's about the only update that I could provide y'all. But y'all already know, as I get the updates, I will share them with you. This whole situation right here kind of hit home to me because I'm in Mississippi. And I just pray that him and his family get the justice that's deserved.
All right, now let's listen to someone who knows what they're talking about here. Let's listen to her. The white mob narrative didn't work. This young lady is very, very intelligent. Now listen to her. So why jump to conclusions and make your stupid, hateful video? Nemo, boom. Got to push that narrative. White supremacy and systemic racism. My girl, look like she's part of the bonnet brigade. So that tells you what you need to know. All right. Now let's actually listen to someone who's intelligent. Here we go.
People are upset that it wasn't a white mob that unalived that young man at the university, Delta University in Mississippi. Y'all are upset that it wasn't, because the black police chief, university chief, came out and said that he saw the videos and it seems to be a suicide. Then you had the black coroner's office, which is black men, that also coincided his reports with the university police. And then you also have the black county sheriff as well. All of them are in on this investigation in a town that is predominantly black. But you're upset because you couldn't use this to continue your race hustling, your division, and grifting for gains in clicks and likes. I've never seen so much confusion for people that say that we live in a white supremacist society, but y'all have to look high and low, scour everywhere to find something to coincide with your narrative. Instead of asking these questions, sitting down with your sons and your daughters, maybe having quality time with your loved ones to discuss the mental problems that's going on with our youth today. Because obviously that young man was suffering from the inside. Now, of course, the family is going to get independent autopsies. They want independent investigations, as they should, because he wasn't the only one that was found from the tree. It was also a white man that was 100 miles around the.
This is what I was saying. This Corey Cicadas, a white man, he was found hanging from a tree too. You don't see it all over the news. Okay. Lanita, yep, the buzzards are circling the dead before they're even cold and buried. Hope the families don't get wrapped up with janky mess from con artists. Lanita, yeah, like what's his name? The kid, the guy that stabbed the other guy. And then they got hooked up with that charlatan. Now you have no credibility. Stay away from these race hustlers. They don't care about you. They're looking for the notoriety and the checks. That's it.
There was
Maga, this is your first time hearing about him. Yeah, it happened about 100 miles away from where this young man was found. Okay, so yeah.
Also found he was a homeless white man, but since that doesn't fit the narrative, nobody brought that up. So if I was a family, if that was my son or my daughter, I would want a full out investigation. But y'all jump to conclusions to automatically say, oh, it's white people that are doing this. They're now lynching black people. It's giving a bit of narcissist to me, because y'all cannot stand when the attention is not on y'all. You know, an opportunity to tear up the streets and riot and blame white people and all of this kind of stuff. Because y'all thought it was going to be a different outlook when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. You thought that it was white people that was going to be out here tearing up the streets, all of this stuff, and chasing down black people, and that didn't happen. So now you're trying to cook up some sort of a narrative to make that happen, and that's fallen through. So I'm going to say rest in peace to Trey Reed and Cody, which was the white guy's name, the homeless guy's name, and I hope that they do a full investigation of everything. And it's always tough when a parent loses a child, especially in that type of a way, because the question of why will always continue to play in their mind, and they'll never be able to get that answer. So I really hope that y'all really can find comfort and peace in the Lord. So y'all,
was she not intelligent, folks? How you doing, Aurelius? Nemo said facts, smart woman. And I liked it before she ended the video. She mentioned the white man that they found hanging in the tree. And she said, you know, she wants that investigated, because again, Maga said it's the first time she heard about the white young man. They're not talking about the white young man. They keep pushing the narrative about the black young man to make it think, to make us think. Yeah, she's very smart. She was on what my girls. Now I know if my girl said she was on point, she was on point. So they just keep talking about the black man that was found hanging in the tree, because they want to stir it up. No one cares about the white man. I don't care that the man was homeless. His life mattered too. They're not sharing that in the news because they can't get anything stirred up with that. They keep talking about the black man. Jeremiah, didn't you like her take too? Yeah, I was like, I have to share this. Yeah. Tina, she nailed it. Boom. I agree. She nailed it. All of it. She knows about the race hustlers. She knows. They don't care. And you think that they're in it for you? They are in it for themselves. More notoriety, more money, more money, more money. Oh. All right. So that's all I have for you. I just wanted to, those of you who came in late, make sure you go back and do the replay. Scroll back and watch the first part of the video. And you notice whenever I have a story and it's not a long story, I'll add 2 or 3 in one. So I added 2 in one. And so that's why I wanted to mention this, because I know I'd seen some of you talking about it in the comment section about this college student that was unalived. And so I definitely wanted to talk about it. And there's going to be another No Kings protest. Yeah, Monique, they won't stop. My girl said she told the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Oh, yeah. Of all the clips I watched on TikTok, my girls, I loved her. Her take was the best. Love you too, Marshmallow. Make sure you come back tomorrow. I'll be live again tomorrow, okay? And that's all I had for you folks. I just wanted to share that with you because I was like, wow. So now all of these people, all of these black people are in cahoots. The police chief, the coroner, they're all lying, right? Get out of here. Yeah, God bless you, all of you. Just be safe wherever you are, whoever you are around. And just remember to come back and leave a comment. My girl said she's open-minded and thinks for herself. Boom. Well, we know she didn't vote for the Curry Queen. Lanita, thanks for dropping in, love. Bye. You be safe too. I hope to see you all tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow evening. I'm not sure of the time yet because I'm going to try to schedule it after the football games are over with so people can drop in. Okay. It's sad that he hurt himself, but I'm glad he did not leave this world as someone else's in MAGA. You know, there'd be rioting and all kinds of horrible things going. BLM would get ramped up again. Oh, no. We've been there, done that with the George Floyd fiasco. Yeah, much love to all of you. If you will, if you have time, once I end the live stream, please come back and leave a comment under the video. You can ask Maga, you can ask Jeremiah. I answer all, I respond to all comments. If I don't get it tonight, I'll get it tomorrow before church, okay? So I'm coming to talk to all of you right now. And I'll stay there and talk to you as long as you are in the comment section. And when it ends, like I said, just do me a favor and come back and leave a comment under the description box. All right, I'm coming to talk to you right now.